Good morning. Today we will discuss circular flow of income. What is circular flow of income? Now, it is the flow of goods and services and money in the economy. Actually, there are two sectors in an economy, or two basic sectors in an economy. One is the producer sector, or which is called firm, and another is household. As we had discussed, that household are the owner of all the factor services or factors of production, and the producers or firm use these factor services for production. Now, what do they do with these factor services? With these factor services or factors of production, firms produce goods and services and supply these goods and services to the household for which these are meant. So production activity are done for the household, and goods and services go from the firms to the household, and the firms pay amount or money for that. So this will be discussed in circular flow of income. Before understanding circular flow of income, let us briefly understand what is product market and factor market. The product market is a market where goods and services that are produced by the firms are sold. So in the product market, as we all know, a normal market is a product market in which goods and services produced by a firm is sold in exchange for money. And what is a factor market? Factor market is a market where factors of production are sold or supplied by the household and purchased by the producer. So factor market is not a normal market that we observe. The factor market also exists in an economy. You will observe that the household supplies factor services to the firms and they are purchased by the firms. So this is a factor market where the firms take the services from the household, and with the help of these services like land, labor, capital, and enterprise, produce goods and services. So that is what is called factor market. Then let us understand real flow and money flow. Real flow is actually the flow of goods and services. So in reality, what we observe is the real flow. We will observe that the firms produce goods and services and supply these goods and services to the household. So this can be seen in reality. That is why it is called real flow. So the firms produce goods and services with the help of factors services and factors of production and supply them to the household for consumption. So since household require goods and services to satisfy their needs, so this is called real flow. So it is from the firms to the household. Then what is money flow? We all know that the goods and services supplied by the producers or firms are meant to be sold to the household. That means the household will pay some money for that, and the money is called money flow. That means the money which flows from the household to the firms is called money flow. Now money flow also takes place between household and firm in the form of money flowing from the firm to the household, because as we have discussed that the household supply factor services to the firms or producers. So when they supply these factor services to the firms have to pay back to the household in the form of money. So money flow takes place between household and firm both the ways. In one way, the money flows from firm to the household in the form of payment of factor services or factor payment. Factor payment is money flow from the firm to the household, and then money flow from the household to the firm is in the form of payment for goods and services. So money flow takes place between both household and the firm, and both the ways. Similarly, real flow also takes place between the firm and household, both the ways. In one way, the households are taking real flow in the form of goods and services from the producers or firm, and the household are supplying goods and services to the firms or the producers. This is also real flow. So real flow also takes place between the firms and household, both the ways. Now we will briefly discuss the difference between real flow and money flow. What is real flow? It is the flow of goods and services between the firms and household. That means firms are supplying goods and services to the household, and household are supplying factor services to the firms. This is real flow. Money flow takes place between the firms and household. That means firms are paying to the household in the form of factor payment for use of factor services, and household are paying money to the firms in the form of payment for goods and services. Which kind of exchange is it? In case of real flow, there is exchange of goods and services. There is no exchange of money. And in case of money flow, there is exchange of money between the household and firm. Difficulty in exchange. In case of barter system which earlier prevailed, there was difficulty in payment for goods and services. But in case of money flow, you will see that there is no such difficulty in case of money flow, because every good and services can be measured in terms of money. So it becomes easy for the household and firms to be involved in money flow, since every goods and services can be measured in terms of money. So money flow and real flow, they help each other, or the household and the firms help each other with the help of real flow and money flow in the economy. Now alternate name on another name, physical flow is another name for real flow, because physical goods and services or physical goods are flowing between the household and firms. Money flow is also called nominal flow, because there is no real flow of goods. So money flow is also called nominal flow. So this is the difference between real flow and money flow. Now let us see how does flow or circular flow in an economy takes place in two-sector economy. Now in this chapter we will discuss regarding two sectors only, although there are other sectors, other two sectors called government and foreign sector also, because in reality nowadays we have these four sectors, or our economy is influenced by government, foreign sector as well as these two sectors. But basically in any economy or a closed economy has only these two sectors, household and firms. So in olden times, when there was no trade between different countries, so there were no foreign sectors, and if there is no interference of government, there will be no government sector also. As these are the basic sectors which are essential for circular flow of income in any economy. So we cannot work without these basic sectors or basic two sectors. We will discuss how does flow of goods and services and money takes place between household and firms. Now here you can see on the outer circle what does flows from the household to the firms. Factor services are going from the household to the firms. That means land, labor, capital and enterprise are going from household to the firms. And then what are firms giving to the household? The firms are providing goods and services to the household. So this is the real flow. So outer circle is actually the real flow, in which actual goods and services and factor services are being exchanged between household and firms. Now see the inner circles. Here firms are paying back money for these factor services. So these are the factor payments. factor payment in the form of rent, wages, interest and profit. So for these four factor services, these rent, wages, interest and profit are being paid. So this is actually money flow, because all these payments are done in the form of money. So this is, or inner circle is money flow, and the outer circle is real flow. And then here you can observe that in exchange of goods and services, what are household giving to the firms? Household are actually spending money or spending money on consumption of goods and services. So this is also money flow. So this is the exchange between firms and household, and this exchange between the firms and household is called circular flow of income in two sector economy. That means we observe that money does not stay idle with any particular sector. First, money is flowing from the firms to the household. That means when the production process starts, the money is going from the producer to the household in the form of payment. When the household or people from the household are going and they are working, they are getting wages. When they are giving their land for production, they are getting rent. Similarly, when they are giving their savings to the producers, they are getting interest in return for capital, and if they are giving their entrepreneurship skills, they are getting part of profit. So they are getting money first from the firms. And what does this money is being done? The money is being used by the household to spend. They are spending this earned money on purchase of goods and services. So money does not stay idle with some particular sector, it continues to flow between household and firm. So this is why it is called circular flow. And similarly, the flow of services also and goods also. So factor services are continuously flowing from household and firms, then they are getting money and then they are spending the money. And similarly, firms are continuously taking the factor services from the household and then they are continuously supplying goods and services to the household. And this circular flow continues always in any economy. After discussing the last topic, circular flow of income, let us revise the chapter in brief. What are the main topics that we had discussed? First is macroeconomics. What is macroeconomics? It is that branch of economics which deals with aggregate value. That means aggregate demand, aggregate supply, national income, inflation, all these matters, or employment, national employment or unemployment level. These are being studied under macroeconomics. It studies the aggregate value which influences the entire economy, not any particular individual person or firm. Second, goods or classification of goods between final and intermediate goods. What are final goods? These are the goods which are used by the consumers to satisfy their wants. Now final goods can also be classified as capital goods and consumption goods. Now capital goods are those goods which are used by the producers to further produce some goods. For example, tractors or machinery. These are capital goods which will be used by the producers to produce some consumption goods. And consumption goods are those goods which are not further used or converted into any good. They are consumed and used up by the consumers. And the consumer goods are further classified as durable and non-durable goods. Durable goods are those goods which remain with the consumer for a long period of time. That means many years. So for example, televisions or refrigerators or other electronics or fans, these are examples of durable goods. Non-durable goods like food, clothes, which do not remain for a long time with the consumer, are called durable goods. Now, intermediate goods. Intermediate goods are not consumed by the consumer. That means they remain within the production boundary and they are used by the producers to further produce some goods, and then they are resold in the economy in the same year, and the value of intermediate goods increase and when they become finished goods. So these are intermediate goods. Intermediate goods are not considered for calculation of national income or total supply in the economy. Similarly, final goods are taken. Intermediate goods are not taken for calculation of national income, but final goods are taken for calculation of national income or aggregate supply in the economy. Next, concept of stock and flows. Stock are those quantities which are measured at a particular point of time. That means value of bank balance with a person at particular date, it is an example of stock, or water filled in a tank is an example of stock because it is at a particular point of time. So balance sheet as on 31st March is an example of stock, whereas flow is a quantity which is measured during a period of time. So income of a person in a year is an example of flow because it continues to increase or change during the year. So when it is a time period which has a range, for example in a month the period is from 1st of the month to 30th or 31st of the month, it is a range, it is a concept of flow. Next, gross investment. Now total investment in an economy is gross investment. Investment can be in capital goods and in inventory or stock. So when the production capacity in an economy is increased, it is called investment. It is also called capital formation. So we will use capital formation mostly instead of gross investment. And capital formation can be in the form of stock investment as well as capital investment. So purchase of machineries are capital investment, or purchase of fixed assets are capital investment. For example, construction of building, purchase of land, these are capital investment, and investment in stock of raw materials is inventory investment. Now there is a difference between net investment and gross investment. Depreciation, as we had discussed, that depreciation is the difference between gross and net. So for any figure you have to always remember gross minus net is equal to depreciation. Now what is depreciation? Another name for depreciation is consumption of fixed capital. And what is consumption of fixed capital? It is the fall in value of any asset in a period of time due to normal wear and tear and obsolescence. Now what are factor payments? Factor payment are those payments which are done for use of factor services like land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship. And factor payment can be in the form of rent, wages, interest and profit. So any earned income will be in the form of rent, wages, interest and profit. So everybody of us are earning money in either of these forms. These are earned income. Now these are earned income, that is why they are included in estimating the national income or calculation of national income. Next, transfer payment. Transfer payment are those payments which are received by the household and paid by the government without giving any service or any good. So they are not bilateral, they are unilateral payments made by the government with no or nothing received in return. Examples of transfer payment are old age pension, not retirement pension, it is a different payment, old age pension, national debt interest, gift and donation given, and scholarship also. These are the example of transfer payment. Since they are unilateral payments, they are not considered in estimating or adding national income. Now, circular flow of income, it is the continuous flow of goods and services and money in the economy. So money, as we have just now discussed, money flows between household and firms in the form of payment, factor payment, or in the form of payment of goods and services. And similarly, goods and services flow between the two sectors in the form of flow of factor services or flow of goods and services produced by the producer. Real flow, there are two types of flow in the economy. Real flow, as we have discussed, is the flow of factor services and flow of goods and services between household and firms. Factor services flow from household to the firms, and goods and services flow from firms or producers to the household. Similarly, money flow is the flow of money between firms and household in the form of payment of factor services or factor payment, or purchase or payment for goods and services. So this is all about this chapter. I am attaching some questions, some MCQ questions in the PDF attached. You are expected to solve those questions, the answer for which will be provided in the next class. Thank you.